Can you imagine an animal the size of a grain of rice leaving its mother's womb before it is fully developed? Envision that hairless pink embryo quickly scrambling up its mother's body, clinging to her fur as it finds its way into her pouch. This tiny speck attached to its mother and begins to nurse, never letting go for months. Finally, picture the animal growing up inside the pouch, climbing in and out whenever it wishes to as it matures. God created marsupial babies called joeys in this unique way. Most mammals are placental. This means that the baby develops inside its mother and it gets everything it needs from her. Marsupials are different. God created most of them with a special pouch called a marsupium, in which their joeys develop and find protection. With koalas, wallabies, wombats, kangaroos and possums leading the mob, there are hundreds of species of marsupials. None live in Europe or Asia. They all live either in the Americas or Australia. Strangely, the majority are found only in the general area of Australia and New Zealand, although the fossil records show that in times past marsupials lived all over the world. Since most marsupials are in Australia, let's start our marsupial safari there. Of course, when I say Australia, you should immediately think kangaroo. And that's the first kind of marsupial we are going to study. Kangaroos belong in the order Diprotodontia. Do you remember that scientists often classify animals according to their teeth? Well, this is true for the animals in the order Diprotodontia. Di means two, proto means first, and dontia refers to teeth. So these animals are basically called two front teeth. That's not a very exciting name, but it's a very descriptive one. All the animals in this order, which includes kangaroos, koalas, possums and wombats, have two front teeth that stick almost straight out from their lower jaw. The two front teeth are so distinctive that scientists thought they should be named after them. You see, a kangaroo is a macropod, which means big foot, because its hind feet are so very long. There are many species of macropods living all over Australia. Some prefer the plains, others prefer the forest, some stay in rocky regions living on boulders and cliffs, while others can climb trees and live in the rainforest areas. In addition to kangaroos, wallabies, panda, melons, tree kangaroos, batongs and botaroos are all macropods. They are almost exactly the same in form, with size being the major difference between them. In addition to long hind feet, macropods have furry coats, long tails, thin necks, big ears, and incredible back legs that allow them to jump high and fast. How? Well, God created those legs with amazing tendons, which act like springs. When a kangaroo lands, its tendons compress, storing energy. That energy is then used as the kangaroo launches into the next hop. In other words, a kangaroo's legs act a lot like a pogo stick. Imagine what it would be like if you had pogo sticks for legs. The only real difference between a wallaby and a kangaroo is the size. Just look at the picture. That's a kangaroo next to a wallaby. If the adult male is on average less than 44 pounds with feet less than 10 inches long, the species is classified as a wallaby. Some wallabies are so small they look like rabbits. In fact, there are many called hair wallabies. Rock wallabies have special hair on their feet that enable them to keep from slipping on the boulders and rocks they bound up every day. There are so many species of wallabies, and it seems more species are forming as time goes on. A couple more two front teeth animals you may know are the koalas and the wombats. These animals are called wombatiforms, or wombat-shaped animals. Have you ever heard someone refer to a koala as a koala bear? These animals have round fuzzy ears and look as cute and cuddly as a teddy bear. But they aren't bears. They are marsupials, like the kangaroo. The word koala comes from the language of the native Australians, who are called Aborigines. In their language, koala means no drink. This is because, like the kangaroo, koalas don't drink much. Koalas stay up in trees, rarely coming to the ground. As a result, they usually don't drink from lakes, streams, or even puddles. Instead, they get most of their water from the leaves that they eat. The other animal in this suborder is the wombat. It is much like a koala, and the only thing it has taken to crawling and digging rather than climbing and clinging. It spends most of its time in tunnels and excavates under the Australian earth. This excavation is also so extensive that a wombat's tunnel can be more than 60 feet long. Wombats have the appearance of extremely furry pigs, ambling about on their four legs. They are short, stout herbivores that prefer night foraging. The fur of a wombat is coarse, ranging from black to grey, brown, or even cream. Wombats digest their food slowly, just like the koala, making them generally slow animals. But they can run extremely fast if they are frightened by dingoes. These dogs will actually enter a wombat's tunnel in pursuit. The dingo doesn't always win, however. Wombats have a thick backside that isn't easy to bite, and they've also been known to squeeze a dingo very tightly against the sides of their tunnel in order to suffocate the pursuing dog. Another member of the order Diprotodontia is the possum. Possums are small animals ranging in size from the length of a finger to about 4 feet, depending on the species. Not surprisingly, pygmy possums are the smallest, while bush-tail possums and ring-tail possums are the largest. All possums are nocturnal and omnivorous. Some possums, such as the ringtail possum, have prehensile tails that can wrap around branches and other objects. Though the brush-tail possum has fur on its tail, many others, such as the pygmy possum, have hairless tails. Most possums like to live in tree holes, but some will make nests on the ground or even live in abandoned birds' nests. The bandicoot and bilby are members of the order Peramelemorphia, and looks like rats, but they burrow holes in the ground like moles. Of the two basic types of animals in the order, bandicoots look more like rats. They build their nests in shallow holes in the ground lined with leafy litter or under debris. Their nests hide them from predators and protect them from the rain and the sun. They are omnivorous, scratching through dirt to find insects and plant material. The other member of this order, bilbies, have long noses and long ears, making them look like a cross between a rat and a rabbit. Their name comes from the Aborigine word that means long-nosed rat. They share most of their traits with a bandicoot, but unlike bandicoots, bilbies live in tunnels that they dig for themselves. Is it a dog, a hyena, a weasel, or a devil? With its blood-curdling, feeding frenzied shrieks, the skinny-legged wombat-like creature known as the Tasmanian devil causes concern among the people of Tasmania. Like most members of the order, Tasmania devils are carnivorous, but they are mostly scavengers feeding on whatever is available. Their bite is much more powerful than a dog's, and they'll consume every part of the animal, including the bones. Doesn't that sound like a hyena to you? Devils are nocturnal animals roaming the roads at night with a characteristic loping walk, seeking their next meal. When food is present, they defend it from the others that might steal it, barking and hollering. They bare their teeth in a savage grimace, growling louder and louder until they reach the terrifying scream that pierces the night and gives them their reputation as devils. They also produce a foul odor when they are nervous or scared. A relaxed Tasmanian devil, however, doesn't smell bad. Although they do not form packs, they will sometimes eat with other devils, especially if a large carcass has been found. However, they will defend their carcass if there's not enough for everyone. This is what a Tasmanian devil sounds like when it's screaming. The Virginia opossum has coarse greyish-brown and black fur, a mousy face, and a little pink nose. Its prehensile tail is used to wrap around objects and hold onto tree branches for stability. However, opossums don't usually hang upside down from trees with their tails, even though that's how artists depict them. The tails of adults are not even strong enough to bear their weight. The young may hang upside down for brief periods of time when they lose their balance, but that's it. They do wrap their tails around leaves and other matter so they can carry it to their den for bedding.
That's all, folks.